What's up, guys? We're back. It's season 2. Talk about it. We've got great tacos, mystery sauces, an awesome lineup of guests. We're going to kick it off this week with Laura Nelson at Broadly.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're back. It's the first episode, season 2. Talk about it. We're excited. We've got an awesome guest here. We are joined by Laura Nelson with Broadly. Laura, before we start talking Broadly and CompanyCam, hopefully you got some tacos. Did you get some tacos?
I did.
Awesome. Well, you got any like special tacos or sauce or anything? Or
I did actually. I'm here from the Baltimore office. Broadly just opened an office on the East Coast. We're really excited. So it got me out and about in the neighborhood and picked some up at Poppy's Tacos in Fells Point.
Awesome. Well, one thing we're doing this season on Talk About It is we're going to have a mystery sauce every week. Our marketing team and Lauren thought that was just going to be a great idea. So I've got this bright green sauce this week. It's going to be really hot. So I'm going to get some sauce on the tacos here. While I'm enjoying some tacos, Laura, tell us a little bit about just what Broadly is from a high level, what Broadly is, and kind of how you ended up at Broadly and your role there.
Sure. Broadly started out as a review generation company, really empowering businesses to follow up with customers, get their feedback, and direct the happy ones to leave a review where it will make an impact online. But since then, and I've been with the company for 3.5 years, the company's been around for around 5 years. We've evolved our platform. We know that it's not just about following up, but providing a 5-star experience from start to finish. So what our platform also does is help businesses manage their leads coming in from their website and elsewhere and communicate with today's consumers, not just on the phone, but also via text and email, and really centralize all of that so that they're aligned internally, and of course, keeping up with incoming inquiries, whether they're from leads or from customers as well.
You bet. So you talked about managing leads there. We were out on the road with the Highway to Hail tour, so we've had an opportunity to talk a lot here lately, and we've talked a lot to contractors together. One area that I see contractors wanting all the time is obviously more leads. They want more leads. I think I would say that marketing is how you can get those leads. There's other ways, obviously, we'll talk about, but marketing is huge. I think that a lot of contractors don't invest a ton in marketing, maybe because they're not sure where to invest or how to, allocate their money. If you had some just like high level, like, hey, contractors, you need to be investing in marketing, where would you tell them where to be investing and how to, put that money to work?
Great question. And I think, there's a few things that I see happening. There is confusion around what is marketing and what is sales within the industry. I see a lot of momentum around door knocking and getting out in the communities, especially after a hail event or a big storm. And that is certainly part of the process. I don't discourage anyone from door knocking, but I don't recommend it as the only means of marketing. So you asked, where should someone start? Why should someone invest in marketing? Marketing is, of course, more than just a logo, a t-shirt, a color scheme, the name of your company. All of those things feed into it. But I encourage people, if they're thinking about resetting or if they're not sure what's working, is to first keep track of where people are coming in. You can't improve a marketing plan unless you understand what's happening today. How are people finding you? Are they talking amongst one another in their communities? Are they going online? It's likely a mix of those things. And it really has to start with understanding first, who that customer is before you create a program around getting more just like them.
Yeah, absolutely. So you talked about, I think tracking leads is very important. And then you talked about, where are they coming from, those kind of things. SEO is three letters that I hear all the time out of contractors' mouth. I want to improve our SEO. Do you have any suggestions for that, or what should they be doing on the SEO end of things?
Yeah, SEO is tricky, and the reason for that is Google is constantly changing its algorithm. So we don't have the keys to the castle, and that's by design. Google doesn't want to tell us everything to excel in local search, because then everyone would just be gaming the system. So they're constantly fine tuning what they deem to be relevant in a local result. So how do you game that, right? There are some things you can do organically for free, and then there's other things that you will have to pay for. My kind of basic tips are: do the foundational things like claim your pages on the big sites like Google and Yelp and Facebook. And the reason for that is they have a lot of traffic and inherently have a lot of SEO value. Strengthening your SEO game means getting your listing information right on these sites and the other big directory sites. They're looking for consistent name, address, and phone number. And when I say they, I'm specifically referring to Google, because that's where most of the search traffic is. Other things that factor into improving your SEO, especially when we're talking about local marketing, are generating reviews. Reviews, especially consistent and recent reviews, signal within local search that a business is relevant to that consumer who is looking. So that's a piece, and we can of course circle back on reviews in a little bit. Then we get into like the paid stuff, right? And that may require some outside help. So what are the paid tactics? You may have to pay someone to create content for your own website, to embed keywords, to make sure that your website itself is turbocharged, once you're directing or while you're trying to direct organic traffic there. And then we can get into Google paid products. Google Guaranteed is popping up in a lot more markets these days, and you've got to pay for every call that you get, or maybe you're running PPC ads. Those things I think are more advanced and shouldn't even be pursued unless you've really nailed the foundation first.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you're saying all this great information, we want to let you know that this season on Talk About It, if you comment below or you email us marketing@companycam.com, we'll make sure we get you some assets over from Broadly, from CompanyCam, and then from all of our guests as we go through, just so that you have that. You don't have to just keep referring back to the video to get this information. You don't have to take notes. We'll do that for you. And then if you do have questions, we want to make sure we get those answered. We're planning a special season finale where we take all questions through the episodes, and then we'll get those answered. So if you've got questions, make sure that you drop them below or email us, and we'll get those answered for you. Laura, I think we're doing great right now. The sauce was a little spicy. Let's take a quick little water break right here, and we'll be right back with Laura Nelson from Broadly.
Let's talk about it.
Hey guys, remember, we want to hear from you. If you have questions throughout this show, comment below or email us, marketing@companycam.com. We're going to get those questions answered the last week in a live session. And remember, you can enter to win a free bottle of our custom sauce.
Let's talk about it.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're back here. Laura with Broadly. Laura, while we were getting some water there on the break, we did talk a little bit about that SEO, and I kind of want to just finish on that end of it. and then we'll get into some more discussion. But I was talking to you about how CompanyCam's got the new WordPress plugin, and how when you publish photos to web, that we're publishing all of those geotags that Google loves. Maybe speak a little bit to how that can improve SEO, and then kind of talk about the plugins that Broadly may have available for contractors as well.
Sure. I love that you guys have thought of this plugin, first of all, because contractors really struggle with what to add to their websites, right? A lot of businesses just establish a website, set it, and forget it. However, among the things that we do know about Google is that the local search algorithm really does want new content. If new content is continuously published to the website, it's going to strengthen organic SEO. So the addition of photos through this plugin is huge for that on the SEO side. And then plus visitors to the website, of course, can understand a contractor's process more effectively and see before and after photos and gain confidence that they're going to do a great job for the homeowner. You asked about Broadly's plugin, and ours works in a similar fashion in that it's automated. You don't have to go log into your website, know your way around WordPress, which can be complicated, especially if you've got something custom happening there, and it takes time. What our plugin does is publishes online reviews automatically, 4- and 5-star reviews from Google and Facebook directly to the website. It publishes them as original content so that these keywords are getting embedded in the code, and of course, achieving a similar goal that your plugin is as well, enhancing the SEO and improving a business's chance of getting found online.
Absolutely. So one thing that I want to kind of piggyback on that is, today the way successful businesses are winning is vastly different than 5 years, 10 years ago, significantly different than 20, 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. Are you finding that the consumers are operating in different ways? Are they having different expectations of these contractors, or what are your feelings and findings there?
Absolutely. People are willing to pay a premium for a great experience. And that has really pushed us as businesses to catch up with their habits. A couple examples come to mind, right? Blockbuster, he used to have thousands of locations across the US. Competitor called Netflix came along and provided a vastly superior customer experience. And Blockbuster didn't evolve. They were out of business. Now I think there's only one store left. But that's one thing where people sought out a better experience and were willing to invest money. And the same holds true for Amazon. We can go down the street to buy certain products, but we elect to do that online instead because we know reliably we're going to get it in a matter of a day or two. So the same is happening, it's trickling down to the local level where people, if they are followed up with quickly, if they're able to communicate through their methods of choice, some are texters, some are emailers, some prefer a phone call. If a roofer is able to deliver on that promise or that better experience, and not just roofers, of course, contractors of any kind, people will gravitate toward that. That experience and that convenience is something they're willing to pay for and something that they trust too.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll get into how Broadly helps with that. I think of, dealing with my internet, and here in Nebraska, and I've got a small internet provider. I live in rural Nebraska. And last night the internet was not working and I had to sit on hold forever. There was no other option to communicate with my internet provider. I won't say their names. I know Broadly does a lot of analytics on where are they communicating at, and helping the contractor communicate in those same areas. Speak a little bit to how Broadly is doing that and how that maybe helps the contractor win.
Sure. We actually just partnered with Harris Poll to get a pulse on the consumer and then see how that overlaps with what local business preferences are, just to not only educate ourselves, but share that intel with the local business community too, to have a baseline to measure themselves against. And what's really interesting about that survey, the results that we found were that people, by and large, they will prefer a phone call, right? That's the majority. But when you break it down by age groups, you see the younger cohort. We're talking about millennials and people who are finally kind of able to make larger investments. So this is how it's particularly relevant to contractors. They're embracing other channels too. They will opt for a text or an email in certain use cases. And you're seeing this a lot with automated confirmations and with tools like web chat. If they can get a quick answer through one of these other channels, it is much preferred, because we're all mobile, we're all on the go, and we don't have time to sit on hold with the cable company. That's an awful experience, and we won't opt into it.
Perfect. So is that something that broadly can help the contractors achieve, is the web chats and those different things?
Absolutely. And that's kind of what I alluded to at the beginning, right? We saw that online reviews are the new word of mouth. They're amazing currency online. And that just naturally drives more traffic, not only to a business's Google listing, but also to their website. And what we found was, a lot of businesses are busy. They're dropping the ball. Maybe they don't answer their phone. They're out on jobs or they're understaffed, and people are trying to get in touch, but there was this disconnect between what the customer wanted to do and what the business is available for. So we built a web chat platform. We have a mobile app that centralizes leads from web chat and leads from other sources, so that business owners are empowered to answer quickly before a homeowner goes on to one of their competitors, and through the channel of their choice. So this is email, this is text, it is good old phone call. It can be done all from a centralized app.
Absolutely. So I kind of want to wrap up our conversation today with the bread and butter of where Broadly kind of has their roots, and that's in the review area. And I even think back to last night when I was on the phone, and honestly, probably every part of the interaction was great except for that initial hold time. And it was long, it was too much. I didn't have another option. I couldn't web chat, do other things. And so my whole experience was kind of ruined initially, when the overall experience wasn't that bad. I got great service once I got somebody on the phone. How does Broadly help, take care of, from start to finish, getting those good reviews and actually capitalizing on them?
Well, yeah, we started as a review company, as you mentioned, and a big piece of that is automating that follow-up process. If it's easy for both the contractor and for the homeowner, it will get done. So what our platform does, we integrate with a variety of CRMs, and I hope you are all using a CRM. For instance, we integrate with Job Nimbus. Once a job is paid and done, our software kicks in and follows up with the homeowner via email or text, finds out whether they're happy, sends the happy people to the site where they are most likely going to leave feedback. And how we do that is we're looking on the device where those active logins are, because we don't want people to fall through the cracks, get stuck if they don't remember their Yelp password, and ensure that they follow through with one click versus 10.
You bet. And I know from when we were on the road, I alluded to that earlier. One thing that I talk about, and I think I brought this up usually when I would introduce you to come up and speak, was I don't think a lot of contractors have a problem delivering a 5-star experience. I think a lot of them actually do that really well. What are your thoughts on maybe contractors dropping the ball on, okay, we did the job, we did a great job, we'll get some organic, word of mouth marketing. Do you see them just not going after the review, or, just almost putting that on the back burner at all?
Yeah, there are so many things that you need to wrap up when you do final inspection, when you're dealing with insurance, when you're trying to get a check, that I think this just falls through the crack. And I think it needs to be on that checklist of how you close out a job with any homeowner. It's how did we do for you? Plain and simple, it's building in this process, not only with management, but everyone on your team needs to be part of this process and bought into it. And I've seen a lot of different flavors of this in terms of like incentive programs, internal shout outs, and so forth. And it can be fun. But what I do recommend is not just building a process, but embracing technology to make it super easy, not only for contractors, but for homeowners as well.
For sure. And, as a homeowner, I'm not a contractor. If I go to, I'm going to Google anytime I want to look for food, contractor, whatever, I'm going to Google. And not only do I look at the reviews, but the number of reviews. And, anybody that's watching this, go look at your page. How many Google reviews do you have? And ask yourself, did I only do 37 jobs last year? Like, why is my number only 37? We did 600 re-roofs last year. And so I think that contractors could really help themselves in that way. I'm a huge advocate for Broadly, so you guys should check them out. Comment below, email us at marketing@companycam.com if you need any information. I kind of want to leave with, I know CompanyCam and Broadly are partnering together, doing some co-marketing, and we've talked about possibly an integration. How important are having good lines of communication throughout the process to that review? Because obviously with CompanyCam, we make it really easy to communicate with the homeowner through the process. Do you see that plays a role in that overall review?
Oh, absolutely, because people want to be taken care of, not just when they're hiring you, right? And when I say you, the contractor, they want to know that their job is on schedule. They want to know if there's any setbacks. They want to know, what the plan is so that their investment is well spent. So getting this review is super easy when you've been transparent and authentic the whole way.
Absolutely. So like we say when we're on the road, Laura and I, obviously CompanyCam is going to help you create the 5-star experience. Make sure that you're using Broadly on the back end to capitalize on that. We're about right out at time here, Laura. Again, thanks for joining us for the inaugural episode of season 2. Talk About It. We have an awesome season planned here, and we'll see you all next week. New mystery sauce. Hopefully the same tacos. They were good. And we'll see you guys next week.
Let's talk about it.